Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a forgotten chapter of American financial history. When you think of banking before the 1900s, you probably picture stern-looking men in top hats, maybe a classic bank run, or gold bars stacked in a vault. But what if I told you there was a massive, parallel financial world operating in the shadows? Long before the term shadow banking even existed, this is the untold story of America's first shadow banking system. So what was this system? It wasn't run by clandestine groups in smoky backrooms. Instead, it was powered by everyday merchants, brokers, and businessmen. Before the creation of the Federal Reserve in 1913, the official banking system was rigid and fragmented. Getting a loan was tough, and moving money across the country was a nightmare. The economy was growing at a breakneck pace, but the formal banking sector just couldn't keep up. This created a huge gap, and nature, as we know, abhors a vacuum. Enter the commercial paper market. This was the heart of the shadow system. Imagine you're a textile manufacturer in New England in the 1880s. You need to buy cotton from a farmer in Mississippi, but you won't get paid for your finished cloth for another 6 months. What do? You write an IOU, a short-term promissory note, essentially promising to pay for the cotton in 90 days. This piece of paper was called commercial paper. Now, the cotton farmer in Mississippi doesn't want to wait 90 days for his money. So he sells your IOU to a local note broker for a small discount. This broker then bundles your IOU with hundreds of others and sells them to investors like a small bank in Ohio or a wealthy individual in New York who are looking for a safe short-term place to park their cash. Suddenly, your personal IOU has become a tradable financial asset, connecting you, a New England manufacturer, with a Mississippi farmer and an Ohio investor, all without a traditional bank loan. This network was vast and sophisticated. Specialized commercial paper houses sprang up in major cities like New York, Boston, and Chicago. They acted as the middlemen, vetting the creditworthiness of businesses and creating a national market for this corporate debt. For businesses, this was a lifeline. It was a flexible and often cheaper way to get short-term funding than going to a bank. It allowed them to manage their cash flow, expand operations, and finance the incredible industrial growth of the Gilded Age. By the turn of the century, the amount of commercial paper outstanding was comparable to the total loans of all national banks combined. It was a titan of finance hidden in plain sight. But, like any system operating in the shadows, it had its dark side. It was completely unregulated. There was no central authority to backstop the market if things went wrong. No lender of last resort. This lack of a safety net became terrifyingly clear during financial panics, like the Panic of 1907, when fear gripped the markets. Investors refused to buy new commercial paper. The credit market froze solid. Businesses that relied on this funding suddenly found themselves cut off, leading to widespread bankruptcies and fueling the economic crises. It was this very instability that ultimately led to its transformation. The Panic of 1907 was the final straw, highlighting the desperate need for a more stable financial system. It directly led to the creation of the Federal Reserve. The Fed was designed to be the lender of last resort, providing the liquidity and stability that the shadow system so desperately lacked. Over time, the formal banking system, with the Fed's backing, absorbed many of the functions of the old commercial paper market. So, the next time you hear about modern shadow banking, remember that the concept isn't new. It's a recurring theme in financial history. The story of America as pre-1900 shadow banking system is a powerful reminder of how innovation can sprout from necessity, but also of the inherent risks that come when finance outpaces regulation. It was a system born of ambition that fueled an empire and ultimately sowed the seeds of its own reform. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you found this hidden piece of history as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. Let me know in the comments what other forgotten stories you'd like to see covered. See you next time.